3つの界隈を紹介する人に回します。
So the first kaiwai I'm going to be introducing in this video is the mawashimasu kaiwai. Now this comes from the verb mawasu, which is like to spin or to kind of pass in a circle, and of course kaiwai, which if you haven't seen my earlier videos, is a current Japanese term used for a loosely knit group of enjoyers, or in some cases even doers. You don't have to like a kaiwai to be part of it. Anyway, this kaiwai isn't like a hobbyist thing, but just rather a TikTok sort of video trend, where people take a phone and say that they're going to hand the phone to somebody that they describe. The length and creativity of the description is kind of part of the game, and then they hand it to the person described, who then does the same thing. These can be at times extremely complimentary, as you're about to see.
だるぎなのにめちゃくちゃかっこいい女に回します。
In other times, they can be rather abusive.
なんかわかんないけど、私とキャラかぶってる女に回します。
キャラかぶりって何？酒飲まないと喋れない金髪に回します。金髪って私しかいないじゃん。
Or in some groups, it kind of goes back and forth. Now, as far as I can tell, the mawashimasu kaiwai is something that has only been named since around February of this year. But the basic activity that you're seeing has certainly existed prior to that, but under different names. For instance, in December of 2024, the influencer Kemio had a video that went pretty viral where they did this exact same game, but instead of using the verb mawashimasu, they use watashimasu, or to hand to, throughout the video.
いつも遅刻する友達に携帯をパスします。
距離が近すぎる人に携帯を渡します。
The premise is the same, but the vocabulary is different. And because of the limitations of the search functions of various video websites, I can't find out when Japanese people started doing this, but minimally they were talking about this activity by 2022, and it may have come from abroad because the link you're seeing in the post there is to a video in English of this very activity. But searching on Google Trends for like hito ni watashimasu doesn't show any real hits until this year. So regardless of how long this trend has been happening, the change from watashimasu to mawashimasu and the creation of the mawashimasu kaiwai as like a way of referring to people doing this is something that happened this year, and that's why it's making top trending words list for this year. But it's important that you don't get this kaiwai mixed up with the kaiten kaiwai, which also can of course mean rotate. So I will of course now kaiten kaiwai o setsumei suru hito ni mawashimasu. Hello again, we don't have a budget for outfits. So the kaiten kaiwai on paper could be the same thing as the mawashimasu kaiwai, because mawasu and kaiten are kind of the same thing. But this actually refers to a completely different video trend where basically people stand in front of their camera and then rotate to show off their fashion outfit. Or sometimes this is also used to show off the fashion outfit of a character you're playing in a video game, in which case it is instead referred to as the hero kaiten kaiwai. These terms have both been in use since at least 2022, but while there are uses of kaiten kaiwai before that, they're referencing different things or just jokes. Like this post in 2017 is using kaiten kaiwai to refer to people that use power tools that rotate, and that could be a real kaiwai, but as far as I'm aware, it's not. It's just a joke. And likewise, unsurprisingly, there are people that use kaiten kaiwai to refer to going to sushi, but that's not the main use. Although, due to this spinning around fashion use that we've seen, there has been a more recent expansion where people just use it when they post any videos of anything spinning around, like the dog you're seeing here. So if you are part of the mawashimasu kaiwai, and one of your friends likes to show off their outfits, you could say, kaiten kaiwai no hito ni mawashimasu. But now it's time for me to mawasu to a third person, who is also me, who is going to tell you about the third kaiwai. So, puku kaiwai o setsumei suru hito ni mawashimasu. Hello, I am a completely different human being. So the puku kaiwai, which comes from the Japanese onomatopoeia for like to bubble, is another kaiwai that you could say is bubbling up right now, making one of the many top slang terms of the year list that someone appears to keep making. Now the puku kaiwai is one of those kaiwai that is very hard to understand what it means from the name alone, as basically this refers to a sort of online influencer that likes to show off kind of their day, but focusing on especially like skin cream, bathing routines, soaps, etc. So in these videos, they will generally show like getting up, making drinks, basically things they will do before their job, but this will inevitably involve some time spent going into the person's bathroom, looking at the various creams they use, etc., as well as showing off their bath setup. The reason that this is called the puku kaiwai is because for some reason, this video trend, the people making these videos, use one of two audio files which have like a bubbling sound in the background. There may be more, but the two major ones are this, or this sound sequence. which, beyond just the bubbling, oddly have, as you heard, little alarm noises in them, which are kind of jarring, which is something that people talking about the puku puku kaiwai have actually flagged as sort of weird.
このプクプク界隈のさ音源私めちゃくちゃ好きでね Vlog 系結構見るんだけどこういう暮らししたいなとかこういうねチャプチャプ界隈で私もいいお風呂入りたいなこういうメイクしたいなと思いながら見てんだけど途中にあるタイマーの音バカでかすぎん
Now while the puku puku kaiwai is making 2025 trends list, the oldest video I can find using any of these audio files goes back to September 23rd of 2024. So this whole thing has been around for like at least a year or so, with Google Trends starting to show interest around February of 2025. That said, though, there are previous uses of puku puku kaiwai out there that are earlier and I guess kind of make more sense, although they're not as popular now. For instance, this person is talking about a puku puku kaiwai back in 2013, and I don't know what that means, but it's certainly before 2025. By 2017, though, people were using puku puku kaiwai to refer to people that like puff out their cheeks a little bit, you know, because it's cute. That does still see use today, as in this drummer you're looking at here. Around 2018, though, there are people using puku puku kaiwai to refer to like bubble games where you pop bubbles. So people that enjoy those kind of games. And this is not idiosyncratic. There are at least a few people using it this way. And some people have used it to refer to people that like to collect stickers that are kind of, you know, puku puku-y. The person here is questioning that's what puku puku kaiwai means, and I guess it doesn't now, but they're not the only person that has posted about puku puku kaiwai and stickers. By 2024, though, there are a lot of people talking about puku puku kaiwai to basically mean health lifestyle influencers. For instance, this person mentions puku puku kaiwai no kotachi, or like the kids that are doing the puku puku kaiwai, and noting that they bought a body cream that often appears within those videos. Likewise, this person uses puku puku kaiwai no dai, or like the flat like holster thing that often appears in these videos where they put their various creams and shampoos and bubble baths, whatever, before they take a bath, as something that they purchased. So again, it's not actually referring to the sound of the videos, but the general lifestyle, healthcare, body soap kind of theme. And again, these videos do have other elements that see reference to this whole thing, such as like preparing various waters for the day. Which you can see this post critiquing as something that they don't really like. Now, the puku puku kaiwai is also sometimes called the poko poko kaiwai, which again is just an onomatopoeia. There are websites saying that there's like an important difference between these two. Like this one saying that puku puku is more calm, but poko poko is more energetic. But as far as I can tell, the people who actually divide this kaiwai into two are really, really minor. Like if anyone can look at this picture and tell me why these are poko poko kaiwai makeup accessories, etc., instead of puku puku kaiwai makeup accessories, etc., I would be shocked. And minimally, Google Trends basically makes it absolutely clear that poko poko kaiwai is not the popular one, with puku puku kaiwai drastically outdoing it in terms of popularity. So to sum all this up, the mawashimasu kaiwai is basically people that do a TikTok trend. The tenkai kaiwai is also a TikTok trend, but one relating to fashion, or people that like, you know, kaiten sushi. And the puku puku kaiwai is one that has been used to refer to a bunch of things, but basically now refers to people that are into a certain style of lifestyle, skincare, etc., influencing, and the various products they use.
All right, so I'm gonna wash my hands here with some soap that I got at Kohl's, just like that, washing my hands. And then I'm gonna fill up my water bottle that I got for free like a decade ago with some water directly from the tap. Anyway, that's how I stay looking 60 despite being under 40, so follow me for more fashion tips.
And that's basically the end of the video, so この動画を始める人に回します。